Hello and welcome to Channel Sport on Sunday. I am Ken Ochonogo. The rains have come so early in Lagos. Rains in March, early March, not even in late March. We expect it probably April, May, June, July. But for the past 48 hours, we have two bouts of rain showering right there from the heavens. And then you trust Lagos. There are those who need the rains, and there are those who said, when the rains come, the floods also take their surroundings and turn their environment into pools and ponds and streams. And I don't want to go towards oceans and seas because that is what happens in certain areas. This is when we also have to be aware and say that, look, we have to keep our environment clean. We must know how to maintain litters. You don't just drop them anyhow. You don't throw things you don't eat and throw out. You don't use from the kitchen. Things shouldn't go from the kitchen to the gutter. The gutter is a drilled system, just for the waters to flow. So it is not where your garbages are dropped in. That's no gutter. That is no cut, that one and stuff like that. And because this is where we repeat. Because when the drain system is blocked, there's a reflux. It comes back and then it goes straight to the road. Even because the tar on the road, when water settles, or that's why you have the bad roads we're having. Of course, the underlane substructure is already eating up, and then the acidic nature of the rain the rainwater also the rainfall goes in there and then attacks the tar, and then you now start seeing cracks. From cracks, you see potholes. From potholes, what do you see? The total failure of our highways. So in every which way you see it, we are part of a society that's supposed to maintain the drains. The purpose of the drains is for a free flow of rainwater, of even the waters from our houses. But by the time it gets to that place, it has to be just water. It is not remnants of what we eat. Some of us turn things after eating, we turn the food, the remnants into the sink, and we shook it in there, and everywhere get blocked. So the blockages, everything, you throw rubber, you throw bottles, you throw cans, you throw them into the gutter, and then when they block there, we always face it. So basically, let us see how we can, imbibe, that culture of, trying to maintain our environment. So, but that is all. The nature of sport is the nature of, trying to be healthy, keeping the body, the mind, and the soul, together. So, Guavin came out with his 32-man list and said these are those who will prosecute that war, in inverted comma, because playing Ghana is war. 25th and 29th, mark it in your calendar. Those dates for now, are the dates that we will know if Nigeria will make it to Qatar in this 2022, the Winter World Cup. We like being part of the first. And this is the first Winter World Cup. And Nigeria has to be there. And if we have to be there, it means definitely we must overcome Ghana. That is just the obstacle. That is, between we and Qatar stands just Ghana. But Ghana is not just, because when it comes, that is a derby, the derby of West Africa. In fact, it is our own African derby when it concerns Nigeria. It is not when we play Cameroon. It is not when we play the North Africans, probably Egypt or Morocco or Tunisia. It is when we play Ghana. That is, it brings us the best in all. So we shall look at that list, not now. We shall look at the list of 32. We shall look at those on the standby, and then the merits, those you think that would have been invited, and those who think that, okay, definitely they have been there, but are they supposed to measure up, based on what we saw at the AFCON in Cameroon just a few weeks ago. So we shall look at that. We shall look at, the LMC saying, look, right now, there is a kind of an anomaly because clubs have started appointing sole administrators. And they said, we checked our laws, and these things are not there. Please, can you explain to us in your organogram where there is a sole administrator? So letters were written, first to 3SC, and later also another one to Rivers United. So we shall look at it and probably ask ourselves, where are we going to? What is the norm? What are we supposed to do? Of course, some have some said, look, pleaded ignorance that, we're not aware that this is in the rule book. But then this is what the rule book says. Is there a room for a sole administrator? Is there a room, for a board to manage the activities of any Premier League club? Because there are the club licensing rules and regulations are all they were spelled out in black and white. There is no ambiguity there. So we shall look at that and see how the clubs are responding and see if they will go back to normalcy. But in the MPL also, matches were played yesterday. Some will be played today already. The people's elephant, how are they doing? They complained last week, after the match that, the referee didn't do well. The Nigerian Referees Association also responded and said, we are doing certain things to this. But then Finidi George was also reprimanded and given a warning and said, please do not bring this game into disrepute. There are proper channels, where you can channel your grievances through if you have any misgivings, on the activities of the men in black. So, but then the matches we played today, like you said, Rangers, Rangers, they won yesterday, so that pushed them. We shall show you the league table, but the Rangers right now, they are down. You might not see them on the, on the third position, because that is the last updated one. But when we take their win into consideration, the Rangers have moved from 5th to 3rd on the league table. The big one also during the week, of course, we started this in last week. We talked about the effect of the Russian presence in Ukraine on sports. It's talking about that. First of all, last week we looked at their clubs. And then, the Poland, but we're talking about the road to Qatar, Poland, Czech Republic, and saying, look, we are not going to play in Russia. Later on, they said, look, even if it is anywhere, we're not going to play. And then UEFA and FIFA responded and said, we are, banning all Russian clubs and national teams from every activity until this the crisis is resolved. So, but Russia has also said, okay, fine, we are going to CAS, where there is they're supposed to be, you don't mix politics, yes, and I'm trying to get that right. You don't mix politics with sport, but that is what you guys are doing now. What is happening in Ukraine is purely politics. Why bring sports into it? You said in your charter, you said in every avenue you can to preach that sports are supposed to bring people together, not separate them. Then why are you doing this to us? So they are saying we are seeking justice, and the best way to go is the court of arbitration for sports right there. So that is where they are taking their case to, But the fallout of that is what happened to Roman Abramovich. I tell you this, the man says after 19 years, since 2003 to 2022, he said, I am selling Chelsea. It was a bombshell. It came, first of all, with this last week when he said, I'm handing the club over to trustees, to take care of it. But then those trustees, 6 of them looked at it and said, what is the law here? That's what we're talking about, club licenses in Nigeria and also in Europe. They look at it and said, what is the legal framework that gives us this for us to handle a club like Chelsea? Are we shareholders of the club? Or what are you going to give to us? But then the man said, after looking at it, instead of going through that route, he said, no, I am selling outright. And for now, we say, he's gotten bids of about 2 or 3 serious bids. People are bidding for about $3 billion, from him. I tell you, remember that Ken Bates bought that club in 1982. I think he bought that club for a pound. Bought Chelsea for £1 before taking it up there. And Abramovich came in 2003 and bought it from Ken Bates. And right now he said, I am selling. And for Chelsea fans, for Chelsea players, for the Chelsea team, it was a story that they were not expecting. It's a story that they are wondering what is going to happen after this. So we shall also look at at that and say, but that has not stopped Chelsea from winning, because yesterday they went on the barren first half, and by the second half it was 1, 2, 3, 4. They pumped it there to cement their place in the top 4 and said, even if we are going to drop, it is not this year. But then we want to start from somewhere. We want to start from the octogenarian. We want to start from the former leader of this country. We want to start from the man who says, who plays squash and is still playing it, as we speak. From the man who says, like I said, sports, is where you want the body want to carry the mind. You have a healthy body to the mental and physical fitness of everybody has to be put together for you to have the complete being. And that is what happened. The videos went viral. Everybody saw it. But that I want for our own fans, I say, why? You can see it elsewhere, but you must also see it on Channel Sport on Sunday. That is why we are saying, let us go and see how the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, celebrated his 85th birthday. And I tell you, follow dreams. We shall tell you what dreams is after this video. Let's just go and watch.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Now, every other person, you have to go outside. No. Everybody wants to go outside. Please. No, we're starting now. Okay. Yeah, no, stay outside. No. Please. Yeah, it's well. Use my camera, don't look here. Is 85. Did you also know? Do you also know that the special guest of honor for this Novelty football match is 91? That's a goal. And now that's 1-1. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Soglo. I'll take your seat. I want everybody on the pitch. The match is starting. Years time for Baba at 90. Taking the kick off to Bayojo, dribbling and the back to Bosse. Bosse to back to Bayojo. Bayojo is moving and takes a shoulder cross. The first goal is taken, and that's 10. Every goal that Baba scores is 10. Up to the side, he's taking the shot. Mamu. No, you can't stay in front of the goal. No. Is he blinking? Wow, that's a mistake. Goalkeeper has caught that very nicely. Back to... Yes, that's it.
Ojoro Council. Let's go.
I will ask them to remember what I call dreams. Dreams. 1, diet. 2, rest. 3, exercise. 4, medical examination, medical attention. And 5, social interaction.
Yes, did you get that? Did you take, I expected you to have your Bible in your hands and write it down. We talked about a sound mind, the body, the body, a very physical fit body. And that is at 85, you saw him there play the full match. I don't want to tell you it lasted 90 minutes, but, there was nowhere he was substituted out. He was there, and then you saw how agile he was. He did the run. He first of all, ran around to warm up before it, and it tells you he's doing that at 85. For those of you who are 40, 50, who thought, when to get up is a problem for you, you can see how it is. And then he said it is very simple, and that is if you follow it, he said it is dreams. I remember when we were in school, when they start giving you so much theories, you now, write down your points, you bring them out, and that's why you can pronounce them in what, just use one to remember what they start. Remember soccer toa, for those of you who are doing mathematics, and you just, okay, this is what? This is sine is equals to SOH, so it is opposite all over height. So those are what hypotenuse, opposite over hypotenuse. The soccer toa. That is you can see him there dancing, very very fit. So he said it is his dreams. Dreams, according to him, say D is for diet. How? Balanced diet. Eat well, not just anything, because they say what goes into your system, defines who you are. So you need to eat well. And then he now said you rest. After eating well, after having, you must have, get some time to rest. If you don't rest, no matter how much it is, you will not be fit as Olusegun Obasanjo, the former president is there. But Obasanjo, you can see him there dancing. And he said, exercise. Exercise. He still does exercise at 85. Exercise. Do your exercises. Sweat a little bit. It doesn't really matter how you want to do, but sweat. If it is 5 minutes, 10 minutes every day, take that time to exercise. Then he said, medical. You must do your medical checkup. Don't wait on when you drive your car. Probably every month or every 2 months you change your oil, even your generator. You take it for service. So what of your own body? So you must go over there to do your medical checkup. And then social interactions. The mind is busy. When you start interacting with people, it keeps your brain busy, it keeps your mind busy, it keeps you healthy, and it makes you as fit as President Olusegun Obasanjo. So that is what we are seeing there. At 85, and I tell you, there is no better. That is him. Yes, Olusegun Obasanjo. He's boldly reaching 85. Nobody's pushing him on the wheelchair here. He is standing on his own. You can see that. And I tell you, it is what... Look at the trapping. Look at how he trapped that ball. He did not move. So, Eguavoy, are you seeing this? Are you seeing this? Are you seeing this? Probably we have put the former president in the reserve list, even if he's not going to make the first 18 players or 25 players that are going to Ghana, but you can put him there. So that is what we are talking about here. We need to be fit. Our sport is that in the exercise is what you need to be fit to walk. I mean, you can read all night, you can walk all night, but for you to have that balance, your physical fitness, your mental fitness, your agility, on how you carry out your work. And then whatever duties you are given, even if you are a board member, if you're a lecturer, if you're anything, take dreams, write it down. Like I said, let me just go through it again. Dreams is for diet, arrow is for rest. Then E, you say you should exercise. Then your medicals, yes, do your medicals, go and do your medical checkup, and also interact socially. Social interaction helps you to be fit and healthy as former President Olusegun Obasanjo. Yeah. So you can't get it any better than that. That is what the former president is saying. And at 85, wishing more years, want us to be a centurion. I'm trying to remember the name of the British, the former soldier who raised so much money during the COVID-19, and he was over 100 years. So that we are saying in a centurion, the president can get there, and then we want to get there too. And then if he has given us a formula for us to be there, then why not take that up? So that is the former president. We shall now go and see how we can look at. Let us look at the league fixtures for today. Like we said, we're coming back to the league to see how they can do, because the president is playing. For those of you who are playing the league today, let's see if you can play up to 85 and see what is there. We want to see how mighty these are the matches for today. Plateau United will be taking Katsina United. It will be Abia Warriors taking on Aqua United, and then you have Rivers United, at home to 3SC, and Kano Pillars. Yes, they will host Nasarawa United. So if you are in Jos, if you are in Aba, if you are in Port Harcourt, or even if you are in Kano. I mean, those are the areas you want to go. The tourists from Bauchi, they will be hosting Lobby Stars. And I tell you, it will be a clash of stars too, as Remo, the new boys, take on Sunshine. Remo, like we said, they went on a bad patch, but now they lost again. They've just won one in their last 5 matches because they lost 4 and won 1 after they started like a house on fire. And then they are facing Sunshine Stars, and then we'll let us see which star, which dim which, or if it is going to be at par. Dakada will take on Eyimba. Afinide George, he started so well too, but somewhere along the line, the man is having a lot of complaints about officiating and how much officials are doing. And the Prayer Warriors will host, yes, Kwara United right here in Lagos. So if you are in Lagos also, you have somewhere to go, to go and enjoy your weekend. Take on, as MFM will take on Kwara United. So these are the matches for today. Let us see, because yesterday some matches were played. But then it was Rangers that won yesterday. Let us see the league table and see where that is the last the updated. Okay, those are the results first. Rangers, beat Gombe United. Heartland consolidated. That is 2 wins now. They defeated Eyimba, and right now they defeated Niger Tornadoes. So you can see Heartland beating Niger Tornadoes by a lone goal. That win took Rangers from 5th, to 3rd on the log. So you can see what you are seeing here. Of course, it's all United, but then Rangers are on 5th. But if you get that win and put in there, they will be there on 3rd. MFM is still at the bottom, but let's see how they can climb out of that place, as they take on Niger Tornadoes today. So that is that is it. And then I want to see if we are getting. We'll try and see if we can get ready. All right, but we want to go on a very short break. When we come back, we shall look at this, and as we have our guest, right there on Zoom, talk about the league matches and talk about what is happening on the list. Stay with us. Okay, that's the Davis Cup battle between Brazil and Germany. Nigeria used to be in the Euro-African group of the Davis Cup, but then things have not been that way of recent. Our fortunes have been dwindling, and I hope that someday we shall get up there, because when it comes to tennis these days, it is just South Africa that is the Tunisian jabs on, and a lot of other other players, but you seldom see Nigerian players up there when it comes to tennis. I don't know what it will mean like to pick up the racket and go out there and knock the ball out, for Nigeria. We should see a lot of sports still need a massive input at the grassroots level, and also taking them. You see, most of those Eastern European nationals who are doing well, they do that because they go. You see that their families take them to US and other places, maybe to come in France to go and train. So we need to spot the talent and take them where the facilities are and see, All right. I want to see if Moise is ready. If Moise is ready, we can join Mohammed Suleiman, the king of the north. How are you, Moise? How are you?
I'm fine. Good afternoon. And it's a pleasure to be here again once again. Nice seeing you. I watched all through what you posted on Obasanjo on the president 85th year birthday. And I'm itching for when you be 85, because I know I'll be among the team that will play.
Moise, thank you very much. I hope to be there. And then, so I can also be as agile as the president when I get to 85. Okay, let us start from the list. You saw the list that Eguavon posted. So let us start from, if my team is also ready, from you, also hear from you, from the goalkeeping zone. We want to take it, the goalkeeping zone, the midfielders, and there are. Do you have any reservations on this list? Francis Uzo, Daniel Akpeyi, and Maduka Okoye. Okoye actually did exceptionally well over the weekend. We saw him, but then people also look at his performance at the AFCON. But are you comfortable with these three manly goalkeepers?
Anyway, very, very comfortable with the 3 goalkeepers on the list to start with. And how ironic, of the 3, the ones that Nigerians don't want to see is the one that is even regular. Talking about Maduka Okoye. Daniel Akpeyi has not even kept a game since after the AFCON. He hasn't kept a single game for Kaizer Chiefs. Francis Ozo is struggling to get games at Omonia Nicosia. And then every other player you see on that list, on the goalkeeper list, only Maduka Okoye is regular. And people say he had a poor AFCON, he made one mistake, but you cannot define a goalkeeper's career by one mistake. Goalkeepers are meant to make mistakes. So what happened to Maduka Okoye? Let's pray is a one-off. Let's just see it as a one-off that it happened during the tournament and he will bounce back. Because in Africa right now, when you talk about 3 highly rated African goalkeepers who are doing very well in Europe, you cannot keep that kid, Maduka Okoye. So Maduka Okoye, Francis Ozoho, Daniel Akpayi, they picked themselves. They are the 3 goalkeepers that should be in the list of the Super Eagles, and I'm okay with the 3 names that are there. But I'm still saying Okoye should keep goal because Okoye is the only regular in that list.
Okay, that's good. Like I said, you also watched that match, that Fortuna Sittard played over the weekend, where he made so much save the penalty, and he was pelted. What do you say of his performance in that particular match?
That game was against Vitesse Arnhem. I was watching the game against Vitesse, and Okoye was back to the Okoye that was voted the goalkeeper of the player of the year at Sparta Rotterdam last season. He was back to the Okoye that was voted the 2nd best goalkeeper in the Dutch Eredivisie last season. He was not just magnificent, he was spectacular. Beyond even the penalty save, he was everything between Vitesse and him, who were on an unbeaten run prior to that very game. That game was so important to them because they were on an unbeaten run and they needed that win to move up the table to go close to their aim of qualifying for Europe next season. But Okoye stood like a rock. Okoye was against everything that was. I mean, for a goalkeeper to make 9 saves in a game tells you a lot. 9 saves. You don't get a goalkeeper who make that often save in a game. Okoye made 9 good saves in that very game. To top it all, he had a penalty save as well. You could tell from the fact that he was pelted with an object from the crowd by the fan who invaded the pitch. You could tell that he is the reason why they were struggling. And they were losing that game 1-0. So rather than them to lose that game, they rather try to distract Okoye. Okoye was imperious in that very game. I watched that game from start to finish, and I dare say that is the Maduka Okoye that rose from the 4th choice goalkeeper of the Super Eagles to become 1st choice in just 1 year. He's back to his best, and I hope it extends to when we play Ghana in the World Cup playoff.
And beyond. I think and beyond that game. That is so. So for now, you are comfortable with that. So let's look at the list of defenders. Let's look at the list of defenders that were invited to the team. If we can have the list, all right. You can see the defenders there. You can see Kenneth Omero. You can see Ajayi, Trust Ekong. I know is there. Calvin Bassey is there. Zaidu, of course, Zaidu is there. And then you also have Abdullah Shehu. Are you okay with this team? You know this team very, very well. What is your take on the defenders?
I think for now, these are the best that we have available. These are the best that we have available from Olua Semilogo Ajayi. I watched him yesterday play for West Brom. He was imperious at the back. Kenneth Omero hasn't played for Leganes the past 4 games. He is hoping that he will get some time to play today. Leon Balogun was back and was back in central defense for Rangers, and he played the entire duration of the game. Calvin Bassey Ugalumba, he plays as a left fullback, plays as a central defender. He was on for 90 minutes. The only problem we have there is that when you look at that list, we have several players. The senior players in that team are not, only 3 of them can be said to be regulars. Only 3 of those senior players. 1, Semi Ajayi. He has been a super regular this season. The other one, Kenneth Omero, but he hasn't played in the last 3 games. So there is a fear there. There's a caveat attached to Kenneth Omero's. There you have Zaidu Sanusi. Ola Aina is not getting games at Torino. Shehu Abdullahi has been playing for Cyprus, Sidomonia, and Nicosia, but you have to look at it, how highly rated is the Cyprus League. But with all due respect, he has been irregular. And in the absence of Tyrone Ebue, who is out injured, he comes in, he picks himself naturally. But when you go forward again in that very list, you look at the main senior men, the vice captain of the team, the senior man in defense, William Troost Ekong, isn't a regular at Watford. As a matter of fact, under manager Roy Hodgson, he hasn't even played the game. And Roy Hodgson even said in his press conference 2 days back that William Troost Ekong is out for the foreseeable future. Ekong went on Snapchat to say that is not true, that the news is fake, but it was your manager who said you're out injured. So the coaches should be planning for that game with one eye on the fitness of Ekong, because if he doesn't pass a fitness test, meaning to say Ekong will not be in the list, and he's one of the senior defenders in that team. We've not tried Omero and Balogun partnership before. Maybe this is the time to try it. Balogun and Calvin Bassey have played together at Scottish Side Rangers. Maybe this is the time to play it. Semi Ajayi have played with Leon Balogun, but I believe they are 2 slow defenders. The same thing too with Kenneth Omero. So Ekong is the only one that brings something extra. And aside from the fact that he's not getting games at club level, he's also an injury that's coming into this game.
Okay, people have said why not to look inwards at the local league for this? Do you have one or two players that you think that could have fit in that could fit in, based on what you are saying, what you have just said?
Yeah, no, Chonogo, I don't know why Elias putting me on the spot.
I'm not too. I'm just asking
head scratcher.
you.
This is a head scratcher. To be fair, if it's for the goalkeepers area,
the
midfielders area, I can suggest a name or two. But defense is key.
Okay.
You don't see 20, 23, 24 years old. I mean, imagine a Nigerian defender playing against a Nigerian defender with all due respect, playing in the NPFL, coming up against, even though he's suspended, let's say Andre Ayew or Jordan Ayew. These are players that this NPFL defender only sees on TV. All of a sudden, he's up against them. Ooh. Then he'll begin to figure. So I'm more comfortable if we give this local lad chance in midfield or in attack or on the wing.
Okay.
Or in the goalkeeping position where they can come in as backup to the regulars. But for defenders this season, I don't think any defender in the NPFL have caught my eyes just yet.
Okay, I think I will go with that. But actually, is that not the reason why you have a sports psychologist in the team that we're able to psych them up, before before you baptize them against well-established stars?
Ken, you can't give what you don't have. You can't give what you don't have. It's very simple. No matter what the psychologists tell you, you only improve your mind. Central defense comes with a lot. You have to move with the defense line to set offside trap. You have to know when to hold the line, when to move. You have to know when to put in a tackle, when not to put in a tackle. There are several things that dictate in central defense that you really don't think it is nice to throw in somebody in a crucial World Cup qualifiers. Mind you, if anything go wrong, that defender might be ruined for the entirety of his career. Remember the story of Godwin Odi. Yeah. Not that he isn't a good defender, but these days in Nigeria, once you mention Odi, everybody say own goal. So you don't want to ruin a defender's career by bringing him into a game like this. Maybe if the process had started a lot earlier, the defender would have been right. We saw how Azubuike Egwekwe was a part of Stephen Keshi's squad for 2 years before finally getting his chance to play in the Confederation Cup. So you need that process. It's a process for central defenders, but for midfielders and for attackers, you can always jumpstart that process.
Okay, let's go straight to the midfield now. Let's see if you are comfortable with the team, what we have in the midfield. Can we have the list? Let us see what the players who are in the midfield that who are in the position to fight for a shirt. Wilfred Ndidi is there. Can we have the list so that Maurice can go through the list of those who have the midfield, please? Okay, Maurice, why we wait? Okay, that is the list. Okay, Wilfred Ndidi is there. Frank Onyeka is there. Okay, Aribo, of course. Aribo, I saw him play yesterday. Aribo is there. We have Akinkumu Amao, and we have Ogeneka Etebo on right there. Let's have your take on the midfield, Maurice.
First of all, I am wondering what Etebo is looking for in that list. Etebo last played a game November 21st when he played for Newcastle, where he played for Watford for 15 minutes against Newcastle United. Since then, he hasn't kicked the ball in anger. This is a crucial World Cup qualifier that you don't need it to bring players who are not up to speed to come and play. Unless if Etebo gets some game belt behind, if he gets some game time under his belt, I really don't think there's any need for you to have Ogenekaro Etebo. If he's not fit enough to play for Watford, who are struggling, who need all of the players that they can get at the moment, and he's not getting into the team, I wonder how fit he will be for the Super Eagles challenge of a two-legged game. He played 45 minutes for Watford under 23, and that has been the only football he has played for 6 months. I mean, and when you look at that role in Nigeria, that is not one role that we are lacking. We have Innocent Bonki, who is a regular for Lorraine in France, in the French Ligue 1. He made his debut under Genetro. He's still very much available. Then when he played for Genetro, he was playing for Malmö of Sweden. Now he plays for Lorraine. I watched him yesterday, or day before yesterday on Friday, play for Lorraine against Lyon, a game which they lost by 4-1. You leave a fit Innocent Bonki to pick a recuperating Ogenekaro Etebo. That is one. You look at Azubuike Okechukwu, former captain of Nigeria under 23. He's not having such a bad season now, to be honest. Even though the team is playing for is a bottom club team in Turkey, but you wouldn't say he's having a bad season. At least he's getting a regular run of games. There is Alassane Yusuf who plays in Belgium. Alassane Yusuf is another who has been scratching heads in Belgium, has been turning heads. There have been a lot of reviews about him, positive reviews about how well he's been playing, but he's still not been given a look in. Because if you are bringing in a Tebo to be a part of the squad, he has always been a part of the squad. So why not you bring in somebody who isn't a part of the squad already, but need that period of integration? You are not integrating a Tebo again. So I don't understand why you're putting a recuperating a Tebo in a squad of players who are meant to do battle over 2 legs. I really don't see any sense in the inclusion of a Tebo, but every other name on that list, I am okay with it. But Ogene Karo Etebo is a heart scratcher that many people are actually narrowing down to the fact that the Warri connection will always work for you if you press the right button.
You know, you are the one that knows the button you are pressing. Right now, we are looking at how, you know, how fit, and then whether they are fit and they are in form, Maurice. That's what we are doing here. Let's go to the attack, because that has always been the issue. The old guards are retained. You have Ahmed Musa is there, Samuel Chukwueze is there, Victor Osimhen, Moses Simon, Sadiq Umar, Kelechi Iheanacho, Odoyin Igalo, Emmanuel Dennis, and then the new boy the new kid on the block, Ademola Lookman. Let's take let's have you on this, and how the old guard, you have the Ahmed Musa, you have Odoyin Igalo, and then people are saying, should they still be there? You have Emmanuel Dennis that didn't make it to the AFCON, and then you have Ademola Lookman, and then you have the recuperating the man who was back in fitness, in terms of fitness, Victor Osimhen. How do you see our attack going onto this?
Osimhen picks himself. Ahmed Musa as the captain picks himself. Samuel Chukwueze picks himself. Moses Simon picks himself. Sadiq Umar picks himself slightly over Taiwo Awoniyi on the fact that he's had a better post-AFCON in Spain than Awoniyi is having right now in Germany, because Awoniyi went on a lengthy goal drought, and I am made to believe that was when that list was actually drafted. Odion Jude Igalo has been scoring the goal with reckless abandon for Al Hilal of Saudi Arabia. 2 days ago, on Thursday precisely, he was among the goals again. Kelechi Iheanacho, we saw him grab an assist yesterday as well, so he's not doing badly. Emmanuel Dennis is making his way back into the team. This is not the best of Emmanuel Dennis that we're having right now. When he was on fire was when he skipped the African Cup of Nations. Now Dennis has had 1 goal in his last 7 or 8 games. He's back in the squad, but the bottom line is that he's playing and he's a regular. Then you have Ademola Lookman. It's like he switched to playing for Nigeria, took like forever. He's finally here. Let's see what he adds to the team. He brings in more competition, because when you have Ademola Lookman, you have Moses Simon, you have Samuel Chukwueze. It means on the wings there is more competition. Victor Osimhen is fully back. Is back to full fitness. One thing I want to say is this: many people have been saying this, and I want to jump on the bandwagon and then agree with them. When Odion Jude Igalo left the Super Eagles, he left the Super Eagles as a regular.
Yeah.
True?
Yeah.
He left as the highest goal scorer at the AFCON.
Yeah.
If he's returning back to the team now, 2 years after, Victor Osimhen has already taken his position as the starting number 9. True?
Yes.
So, what proverbial sense does it make to have Igalo sit on the bench for Osimhen? Or what sense does it make to have Igalo play alongside Osimhen, or have Igalo play ahead of Osimhen?
Okay,
these are the questions that we need to answer.
Of course, it depends on who they are going to pick. You can have 2 top 9s, and then probably one comes in for the other, on whatever it is.
The last time we tried playing 2 of them up top was in the last World Cup qualifier against Cape Verde.
Yeah.
The one who played Igalo and Osimhen, and it was clear that they are both central figures. They are both running into each other's paths. They were both running into each other's path and all of that. This synergy will not take 2 days of training to work out.
Okay, can one come in for the other? We're talking about options. That if you want to change like for like, of course, if you want to change like for like, I mean, don't you think you can have this? No, probably 25 players wouldn't be on the pitch at the same time. But if you have your 11 and then you need to say, I want to make a change, and this guy's having an off day, why don't you try the other one? Don't you think that is under that circumstance that these players were invited?
That goes back to my question of why have a player as experienced as Odion Igalo on the bench? If you are going to call Igalo to be on the bench, why not have a younger player be on the bench to understudy Osimhen? Because we already have Sadiq Umar. You need to watch what Sadiq Umar is doing in Spain. Sadiq Umar is literally on fire. Yeah. He's on fire right now. He has scored 5 goals in his last 4 games. And in his last 6 games, because he didn't score 2 days back. Even the 2 days back that he didn't score, he had a goal disallowed and actually won a penalty. He has been unplayable in the Spanish, but that's the Spanish second division. Many people want to tell you that. But even if you look at it, the fact that he's getting into this team ahead of Awoniyi And you see how he played in this last AFCON game Nigeria played against Tunisia. You saw he was by far the only man in that attack that has life. Maybe this would have been a lot of time for you to show him some level of trust. Bring about Igalo, I understand, but the question still remains: what role will Igalo play in the team? Off the bench, as a starter with Osimhen in attack, we'll wait to see. But to me, that's a head scratcher. That's a big question that Eguavon needs to solve. And maybe he should have avoided this headache by slowly allowing Odion Igalo. When we qualify for the World Cup, we have enough time to plan and prepare for the World Cup, a lengthy camping period. Then we cannot have Odion Igalo. But let me put it clear: I rate Igalo highly. I sincerely believe that we've not seen a top scorer who buries 2 out of every 3 chances like we have in Odion Igalo. He's a fantastic finisher. I watched him play in the Club World Cup. I watched him play for Al Hilal when they had that game on Thursday against Vincent Abubakar's team. I saw how influential he was and all of that. He's a good striker, he's a good finisher. But at this point in time, maybe we should have allowed him to rest. Maybe. That's just my opinion anyway.
All right. I have my colleague right here too. I don't know. Do you have any question for Moise?
Yes. I think our point of divergence will be the issue of Igalo. If Igalo wants to come back, I don't see any reason why he cannot come back. Now, I understand where it's coming from, that playing Igalo and Osimhen at the same time, we might be running ourselves into a lot of trouble. Recall the only match Owobukri played for West Ham was against South Africa when we started the the journey towards US 94. And in that match, he scored. Siasi has scored, Yekini scored, but after that match, I think the best coaching could look at, like, look, we can't continue this way. Despite scoring in the first match, he was dropped and never came back. Now, but again, when you have this experienced and corny and foxy strikers, it does a lot of good for the team. Teddy Sheringham entered Manchester United as a very old striker. You have younger guys, the York and Ole Cole. So, but he was there and you saw what he did. Now, you saw, we can't go back to the issue of Jamila. So, but my own issue is, if Igalo actually wants to don because he left on his own voluntarily. So if he decides and he has that right state of mind to play for the Eagles, I think he should, even on the bench, he should be there. Because he will pass a lot of knowledge. Experience-wise, you give Igalo 8, you give Osimhen 4 over 10. Osimhen is a skillful striker, but he is not in the class of Igalo.
Okay, you have anything to say on that, Maurice?
I go with him to a large extent, and I've said it a while ago. Igalo is my own kind of striker. Igalo, highly decorated. He didn't play for Manchester United because he's Odion Igalo, or because he is from the Niger Delta. He played for Manchester United because he deserved to play for Manchester United. But again, when you look at it, I want to go with what he said, but we have walked down this road before with experienced players. Taking some experienced players and then finding out that we could have managed what we had. Igalo is Igalo. Igalo will always have his respect. Igalo left voluntarily. If Igalo wants to come back, yes, Igalo should come back. Nobody should stop him. He's a Nigerian. He deserves the right to play for Nigeria. I back him. I even want to go with what Opeyemi said. I hope I got that name correctly.
Yes.
That Igalo is even a deadly striker than Osimhen. I go with that. Igalo is a fox in the box. Igalo has penalty area presence more than Osimhen. Let's be clear on that. If you want Osimhen play severally, Osimhen tends to drift outside the 18-yard box, but Igalo stays in the box where he does the damage. I can't remember Igalo scoring any goal from Nigeria outside the box. In the box, there's no better finisher than Odion Igalo. But what I'm saying is, which role will he actually play? That one is for Eguavon to think about.
To think about. All right. Okay, let's rest it there for now, because we still have about 19 days to that first match. So let me ask you this. Let's come back home talking about the league, Moise. There were 2 letters during the week written by LMC, one to 3SC and one to Rivers United. I mean, upon the issue of appointment of sole administrators. What is your take on this? We've looked at the club licensing. Probably if we can get some part of that, clauses, and then at Article 12, what it talks about on the benefits for personnel and administrative criteria for clubs. Do you think there is a place for sole administrators in the MPFL?
No. Rules are rules, and rules should be obeyed every time. There should be no sacred cows. If we want to go by the policy of no, there is no problem you being a sole administrator, then let's go by it. If we want to say there is no room for a sole administrator, then let's stick by it. This issue has been on for a long while. I remember when this club licensing thing started, a few years ago, I was still the media officer of one of Kaduna's most famous club called Kaduna United. I remember I was their media officer back then. And we had this very issue of sole administrator when the board that I belonged to was about to be dissolved. And we were told that it's against the ethics of what is laid down to play in the Nigerian Professional Football League. Now, the sole administrator thing, I really understand where the LMC are coming from. I understand what the rules is meant to protect. But at the same time, we have to go about it and ensure that there's a level playing field for everybody. Exactly. The Article 12 that you spoke about talked about a general manager.
Yes.
A general manager was quoted. Now, let's take a look at the Rivers United angle. They have a general manager in Oke Palaku, we are made to believe. And they also have, I saw Oke Palaku in Kaduna. Let me not say we are made to believe. I saw Oke Palaku when Rivers United played in Kaduna against Kano Pillars. I saw him there. So he is around, he's still involved. But at the same time too, I also saw Chris Green there. And Chris Green, according to the LMC, before they released this letter, there was no official communication with the LMC appointing Chris Green as sole administrator. But like you know, like I know, several official Rivers United releases have carried the name of Chris Green as sole administrator. So the NFF are now asking for clarity of Chris Green's position. They can change his designation to mean something else, but if his designation still remains sole administrator, he has to go just like the man at Shooting Stars too. Because rules are rules. Rules are rules because you don't have one man call the shots. Football clubs are usually run by a board. These football teams are owned by government, not by a single individual. And even clubs that are owned by single individual do have a board. The board thing is a must. Now, what the guys from Rivers are saying is that we have a board, but we have somebody who oversees that board. So if that is the case, then take Chris Green out and then stop making him like the face of the leadership of the club. Because everything that we have seen from Rivers United so far is that Chris Green is this, Chris Green is that. When they had a new boss, it was Chris Green. When they qualified for the knockout round of the CAF Confederation Cup before they were finally dumped out, Chris Green. When they won away from home, Chris Green. When they anything, Chris Green, Chris Green, Chris Green, Chris Green. So let's know what his role is, because from what you have described him with, he's a sole administrator, and that is against the ethics. So they could change his designation, they could change his portfolio to mean something else. But that word sole administrator, and then giving the sole ownership and control of a Premier League side in Nigeria is a no-no. That is what the LMC are saying by that article in the club licensing, Mr. Ken.
All right. Where else do we go? We want to say thank you, Maurice. We shall still be coming to you maybe in the next 19 days before the Ghana. I like putting Nigeria before Ghana encounter, not Ghana, Nigeria. It's Nigeria, Ghana. So basically, you have some Ghanaians watching. You have some Ghanaians watching, and they know the route with which you drive back home. So be careful. Thank you very much, Maurice. It's always a pleasure speaking with you. My
pleasure.
All right.
My pleasure.
Okay. That is.
Okay, maybe one interesting thing from these two letters to Rivers United and Shooting Stars. It has been brought to our attention through several media correspondences of the officials. It has come to our attention that a sole administrator has been appointed. But when it comes to non-payment of salaries, the LMC will tell you that they don't have any request from the players.
We shall bring them here. Okay? We are counting it.
But now, Shooting Stars, Rivers didn't write to LMC, but it was brought to their attention. But the protest on non-payment of LMC will tell you they don't have any official correspondence from the players.
I think we are seeing, I want to believe that we are seeing a new LMC. Possibly. I want to believe that. That's why I said I want to believe.
So that is why we are now having it has been brought to our attention.
They're not acting on it. You don't wait. Because, I mean, because you're talking about this sole administrator thing. I think, let me see this article. They said, Okay, that is Article 2.
Article 12 of the NFL Club Licensing Regulation.
All right, let us go on a break. When we come back, we shall take this and open the lines. I know you guys are itching to join the show. Just stay with us. All right, you're welcome back. It is the Channel Sport on Sunday. And so we want to open the lines so that you guys can join us. I know you are itching. There is there won't be this show without you guys be part of it. Before we look at other things, we talked about, you just saw movies analyze, the 32-man list. Of course, there were some players who were placed on reserve. We didn't take that. So some of them have the opportunity to also be part of the show. We also talked about, Ibrahimovic selling Chelsea. That is a big news. There has never been, an owner like him. That is what he said.
As I have stated before, I have always taken decisions with the club's best interest at heart. In the current situation, I have therefore taken the decision to sell the club, as I believe this is in the best interest of the club, the fans, the employees, as well as the club sponsors and partners. Roman Abramovich, former Chelsea owner.
I think he's still the owner. He's still the owner.
Willing seller.
Okay.
He's a willing seller.
Yes. This is a man who, under 20 years, Chelsea won between, about 21 trophies. That is, if you add the two Community Shield. Mm-hmm. All right, we have Owo on the line. Owo, let's keep it brief. How are you, Wolafe?
Thank you very much. I appreciate you. How's your night?
Very fine, very fine.
Thank Almighty God. Today is our match in Qualifiers United. I'm about to go into the stadium now. And by the grace of God, MFN, I think they can take one goal is okay for us, so that we take away points. And secondly, about the Chelsea.
Go on.
About the Chelsea issue.
Yes.
I pray. I'm a Chelsea fan too, and
I know.
I want. I'm not a Man U supporter. If I tell you the story how I used Man U 2003.
Make your point.
It's a long story. So by the grace of God, I want somebody that can do like Abramovich. I need somebody like Abraham that he can have a passion of football to buy the team by the grace of God.
All right.
So if you can, I invite you to Qualifiers United today in the MFF, and Remo too. I invite you because the Remo is after by the grace of God. Thank you very much. I will come and take my book by the grace of God next week.
No problem. Thank you very much. It's waiting for you.
Sorry I think Ranger is losing today. I don't know. Ranger is losing today.
I don't know. Thank you.
You know you are a Ranger, you are a Man U.
Only me is Rangers, only me. Okay, no problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Oh my God. Well, I face
you want songs like Abramovich to write off another 1.5 billion loan.
No, I mean that is something. It's like keeping the club in a very healthy position. From when he made the club, everybody put in. But to say,
but again, Ken, if you can't pay your debt, that is more like provision for bad debt or provision for bad and doubtful debt. Because if you are not solvent enough to repay your loan, okay, we might argue that the loan is not due. But again, that says something about the books of Chelsea, which the FFP guys should go and look at.
But for the past, before the COVID, Chelsea has started posting net profits. So I mean,
but Ken, having a loan being written off to the tune of 1.5 billion pounds is not. They should go and look at their books.
That is a long term, and then they should also look at Newcastle, the book of Newcastle, because I mean, let us see how much Newcastle will start spending.
Yeah, will start spending, but without the fund now, they are unbeaten in 5 years.
Yes. If not for the January signings, Without the money
that is why you have the windows.
That is why you have the windows.
Yes, that is why you have...
And the money came with the windows.
Maybe yes, maybe not.
Okay, let's go to Sapele. Ruben is there waiting for us. Hello, Ruben.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Ruben. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. Good afternoon.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Ruben.
Please, I want to get...
What?
To make this observation about the issue of the technical. What's the difference between the technical advisor of the Super Eagles and the chief coach? So I don't know who will be standing on the touchline. Is it Emmanuel Amunike?
No. The technical advisor in Nigeria is the head coach. The chief coach is assistant to the technical advisor.
Okay, it then means that Amunike is the assistant.
It's assistant to Eguavoin. Yes.
Okay.
There's no confusion there at all.
No, because then we're hearing that when General was in charge, I thought Eguavoin was he was holding a position then. So
technical director.
That was the technical director for technical department of the FA, not a part of the coaching team.
Good. Yeah. Okay. I was thinking that was the position he's still holding now. Okay. Thank you.
He
combines both positions for now.
Okay, combine. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was not the advocate of the Nigerian coach, but seeing what Senegal did, I think I changed my mind and let the crew continue. If you remember the last time I called, I wasn't in support of Gabon going, but he has proved me wrong, and I think with what we are seeing, Ghana won't be able to stop us in going for Qatar 2020. Wishing the Super Eagles all the best.
All right. Thank you, Ruben.
Okay, Ken, I think briefly maybe we should declare the answer for prior to now. The chief coach used to be like a grade in the civil service, maybe level 13, 14. So you have principal coach, you have chief coach, so it's like a cadre in the civil service. So then when they bring you, maybe from wherever, you are blooded into the civil service. So you become like a level 14 officer. So that is where the issue of chief coach and the rest came into be. So when Western, all my Fredona and the likes were coming, because they could not be civil servant, they were all this technical, that's like nomenclature of technical advisor, whatever. But the guys like Bitrus Biwariang and Chuku were chief coach, and so to blend into the civil service structure. So that is just it.
Let them just carry it out of the civil service. There's no point. After they have a 1.2 billion budget that's given to them. So why are they still doing? Okay, let's briefly talk about basketball. The FIBA World Cup, Women World Cup draw was made, and I tell you, the group that we are in is frightening, because I'm seeing.
Could have been worse.
Can we? No, it can't be worse.
Without the Americans.
Remove the Americans.
No, they are the record defending champion.
All right, let's call Eric. Eric, how are you? Ooh. Eric, please do call
since
back.
Maurice talked about the Warri connection, we are having more guys from that.
Don't mind Maurice. Okay, let's see the draw. Let's see how the draw, and let us see where we are. We have a Group A and Group B. We are in Group B. But let's take Group A. Are you okay?
That is Belgium, China. Bosnia,
Trinidad and
Tobago, South Korea, USA. Then in our group, we have the France, Serbia, Japan, Canada, and Australia.
You have Serbia, you have France, you have Australia.
So the only thing we don't have here is USA.
That is just the thing.
That is just the only thing. And maybe the Aussies who are the hosts compensate for the pressure from the Americans. But that is the only thing missing in this group.
I tell you.
So if there's anything like group of death or group of restoration, I think this is the group.
This one is hot. But let's see, because I know we did beat France. Remember?
Yes.
So let's see we can do an encore on that. We defeated the USA, but that was on the friendly. Why do you look at me that way, okay?
And that put pressure on us in Tokyo. I think it was even the Tigers, not the Tigers. So, and that victory put pressure because, again, the Americans have not lost in ages. And even though it was a friendly match, it put added pressure on the Nigerian team in Tokyo.
So well, let's see if we can be beating France and beating US, it doesn't really matter. That means we are up there. But this is not going to be easy. We just hope the girls come up on time. Okay, Eric is back. Hello, Eric.
Yeah. The girls come up on time. Okay, Eric is back. Hello, Eric. Yeah. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Sorry, I want to contribute towards the match between. I want to contribute between Nigeria and Ghana.
Eric, please kill the volume of your telly. We can still hear you from your phone. Where the echo is too much. Or stay away from the telly. Kill the volume and stay away from the telly. Tune the volume of your telly down. Kill it. Hello?
All right. What I'm trying to say here is that.
Yeah.
It's done. The match between Nigeria and Ghana, I want to advise the coach to keep on training the Nigeria players because some of my friends here in Ghana are like trying to tell me that we are weak in terms of training.
Don't worry, Eric, don't worry. Just calm down. Tell them on the 25th we shall show them. Just calm down. We are ready. They are shaking. When they saw the list, they're already shaking. Don't worry. Their goalkeeper is from 1/4 division team. They were crying. How can that one face Usime and face Igalo? Calm down. Calm down, Eric. All right. Okay. Let's look at the sanctions that placed on Russia. They are saying, why mix football or why mix sports with politics? Let's see if we can hear. Can we hear from Zinchenko actually first, and then see that response from the captain of the Russian team? Can we hear from Zinchenko? All right.
The mentality of my people from my country, they prefer to die and they will die, but they're not gonna give. I'm so lucky to be part of this amazing club. You know, the way how they support me, all of them, teammates, coaching staff. Apart from the club, you know, the people here in UK, when I'm just walking somewhere on the street, the little guys, which is maybe 10 years old from the school, they coming to me and they say, we pray for your country. So people are watching TV as well. The people are still watching football. And they can see all these things, and I guess it helps a lot for them, you know, like for the spirit and stuff.
Okay, we just have to close. We would have taken the response of the skipper of the Russian team. He's saying, don't mix politics with sports. But we don't have enough time.
Yeah, okay. The Russians can't deny the Ukrainians access to their sporting facilities and ability to participate effectively and expect to do same. So I think if you can't allow them, then you cannot be part of it. Simple as ABC.
Okay, it's as simple as ABC because, I mean, the facilities of the Ukrainians are not in use. They can't play football. They can't do any sport in Ukraine. So why do that? But we shall take this probably by next week. We hope maybe by then peace will have been, will have reigned right there. We don't talk politics here. We talk sports, but we know that we can speak of peace. I am Ken Ochonogo. Have a peace.